Now, while it certainly feels great to be returning to a sense of normalcy in some parts of our lives, students could be returning to virtual learning. That is if COVID cases within school districts continue to rise. Governor Greg Abbott could even clear the way for that to happen. Jonathan Polasic spoke with Ector County ISD's superintendent on what virtual learning would look like for them this time around. Hi, Jonathan.
Good evening, Tatum. There is still a lot of work to be done before ECISD can consider moving certain schools and students to that online learning. But the hope is that it won't be the entire district that has to move to this virtual learning environment. ECISD Superintendent Scott Muri sees online learning as a possibility once again.
We will, again, in conjunction with our medical community, what percentage of student positive cases at a particular site would necessitate that we shut down that particular school situation because there's simply an outbreak of COVID within that school environment. So we continue to monitor all of our cases.
And if online learning does become necessary again, the goal is to keep it from being district-wide.
We much prefer for every single school to stay open. But we're watching the numbers at each individual school. And at this point, if we had to close something, it potentially would be a portion of a school or potentially a whole school. We do not anticipate at this time full district closure. It would be more an isolated incident.
However, there are certain challenges that come with moving to online learning.
Our challenge at this point in the game is going to be finding staff members to create that virtual environment for students, because the law also said that teachers cannot do both. They cannot teach face-to-face and virtual at the same time.
In the meantime, if schools are forced to close before the online environment is up and running, schools could be forced to make up that time.
If we happen to close between now and the time that virtual learning would be stood up, we would have to make up the time that we missed. And that would create a significant hardship on our own staff as well as our families.
Now, according to Dr. Muri, there are still some requirements that school districts must meet before they can move students and schools to that online learning, one of which includes the district receiving a C grade or better from the Texas Education Agency. And that's something that ECISD does currently have. Reporting live in Odessa, Jonathan Polasic, News West 9.